Hello, I mentioned in the last video about turning oranges into candy once oranges go on sale, and they did, so I'll be showing you how to turn these into candied orange slices. You can also do this with other citrus. I just wanted to let you know that beforehand if maybe you don't like oranges. We've done it with blood orange, lime, and lemon. They're all pretty good. So we're gonna just hop right to this. Okay, so we don't want the ends of the oranges, so make sure you slice off enough to get rid of the thick part of the rind. And you can save that, I guess, scoop out and eat or use it for cleaner or whatever you feel like. And try to make sure your slices aren't too thick or too thin. This might be a little on the thicker side, but it is actually better to be a little bit on the thicker side, because if they're too thin, they will just disintegrate and all you'll have left is the candied orange peel. For anyone interested in the recipe, I will be putting that in the description down below. So we started doing this a few years ago, and I never found a recipe on what we do, so this will be different. I'd like to think this will be different than maybe what you can find online. When we looked originally, probably 5 years ago, I'm guessing now, we could not find a recipe to do this, so we just came up with it on our own, experimenting in the kitchen. So I'm gonna finish cutting these up and we'll see you when this is done. Now we're gonna take our big bucket of sugar and put it in there. Just kidding, guys. We're gonna take 2 cups of sugar. So 2 cups of sugar to 4 cups water, which is 1 quart or 1 liter as well. We are making a cloying syrup. And what we're going to do is be boiling this, and once we boil it, we'll drop the oranges in. And I will be doubling this since we have quite a bit of oranges to still cut. We'll see you once this is boiling. Alright, so we got this on a simmer now, and we're going to start putting the oranges in. You don't want it to be on a boil when you do this, because if it does boil, it'll tend to blow the inside portion of the oranges out, so it'll just leave you with the rind. Just gonna put that in. Okay, and now we're just gonna let them simmer until they're translucent. They're getting a little bit translucent, not quite there yet though. And be sure not to stir too hard either. Yeah, so you don't want it to boil any more than this, you guys. I figured I'd show you that as an example. So I'm going to kind of press down, and if it keeps boiling as I press down, I'm going to turn down the heat, which I will anyways because it should be on medium. So yeah, if it gets like that even on medium, it's okay. Just press it down, and as long as the boil's not much more than that, you'll be good. Okay, ready to go. We're not certain about this big one here. Hang on. We're not certain about the big one, but we'll probably just eat that one first to see. Alright, the rest look like they're good to go. are out now, and we will be waiting until tomorrow to do anything else with them. We are going to let them dry overnight. So if they're still slightly tacky tomorrow night, like they seem a little too sticky to our liking, we're going to throw them in the oven at 250 for anywhere from 15 minutes to 1 hour. We like to just have them get kind of dry that way, but we don't like to completely dry them out because we still like them to be chewy, like a softer candy versus a hard crunchy candy. So we will see you tomorrow. Alright, so it's actually been 2 days now. This is the second day we were letting them dry, but I decided to put them in the oven at 250 for about 45 minutes to an hour. Here's what they look like after they've been in the oven. They're still sticky slightly, but they're not going to go bad. That's what they look like dehydrated in the oven. And these ones I have not, but they're really sticky and flimsy, like it feels like slimy. So once I get more done, I'm gonna put those in the oven. So we'll be back here when we're ready to dip them in chocolate. So one thing I forgot is you don't want to bake on wax paper. Otherwise, you will end up with stuff like this. I got most of it peeled off, but I have a little bit of a mess on my hands. So make sure to do yourself a favor, and if you decide to dehydrate them in the oven, use parchment paper or a silicone liner. We normally use our silicone liners, but I was in a rush this morning and did not think before I put this in the oven. We decided to go to a market a little bit out of town, and I just went, since these were already on the wax paper, I went and threw them on in the oven on a cookie sheet. My bad. So do yourselves a favor and use parchment paper or a silicone mat before putting them in the oven to dehydrate. Oven's on at 250. These guys are going in the oven. They'll stay in about 45 minutes and maybe a little longer. Just I put some fresh ones on here, so we'll see you in 45. Anyone who may be interested, this leftover is just heavy orange syrup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it cool down. Once it's cooled down, I'm going to take it through a strainer or strainer bag and to get all the orange pieces out. And once that's done, I'll be canning it, and it will be going in baskets for Christmas. So another thing I wanted to show you, if you decide to throw fresh oranges in with the ones you've already cooked or have cooked for a while, the ones you've already cooked for a while will more than likely be at the bottom. So I will show you. There you go. Okay, candy is done. The reason that some of these are darker is because I went and added them to the same pot as the previous batches of orange, and I just kept refilling it with the water, the 4 cups water to 2 cups sugar, and it'll just make it darker over time as you keep doing that. And then I will be using a fondue pot. I have used a slow cooker in the past, but the chocolate tends to burn, where this doesn't burn as much, so I'm going to be using this. But you'll want to get those ready, so I will be right back once I light the sterno. Alright, Brandon's gonna light the sterno on fire. You sure you want to do that? Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I am positive.
I want this piece on, right?
Yeah, if you want. Because we're just melting chocolates.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna let the chocolate melt, and once it's melted, we'll be right back. So now that the chocolate's melted, we're just gonna take the orange and dunk it in. And however much you want, whether that's half or a whole, but we're gonna do half, like so. And then now you can put on your topping, which we're doing sea salt. You can also do coconut if you so desire. I'm just gonna put that back on the parchment paper, and while it's still wet, I'm gonna sprinkle it onto the chocolate. All right.
Way too much, but that's what it's gonna look like.
All right. So we'll see you guys when we're all done. Here's the finished product. I hope you guys liked the video, and I hope you all try this. Let me know if you do and what you think of it. We'll see you next time.